Welcome to another episode of Houston's Hustle Hobbies, a show where I talk about hustling and making money because it's fun. Um, Today I've been sidestepping this topic a lot because I've done one episode on it before about 4 or 5 months ago because I was just getting into it, and I figured that I've been getting a little bit more knowledgeable in this subject. So I wanted to go a little bit further into what investment platforms between the two that I use. And by the way, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm only going to tell you about what I know about. I don't want to be one of these type of guys that parrot everybody on YouTube. So I know what I do, so I can tell you in detail about what it is. So anyway, the two investment platforms that I use are Stash and Robinhood. I've been using Stash for the longest by a great margin for about 3 years or so now, and it's slow. It's slow. I've made money, and the graphical user interface is actually really good, but it's just slow for some reason. So I've just kind of been getting away from it. So I've been using Robinhood a little bit more now because I like the real-time updates, and I like the dumbness of it. Like, I love the fact that, if you're losing money, the whole screen is red. If you're gaining money, the whole screen is green. It's great. Like, you just know. You don't have to, squint at numbers with a -2% like you have to do on Stash. But Robinhood, but Robinhood. No, I'm not going to give you buts. Those are my pros of my pros of Stash. I'll do pros and cons of both. So I'll just do one pro and one con of both each. So Stash, I like Stash because Stash is super easy. You just park your money in there, and you don't have to know about anything. And the greatest thing about Stash is that they have little educational tabs on there for you to learn, to figure out what an ETF is, to figure out what a dividend is, or figure out what a yield is and stuff like that. So it's cool like that. And I've made money off of Stash before. I think I made a little over $700 off of Stash, off of corporate cannabis last year. I just happened to get in at the IPO. I got out a little bit after the peak, and I went to Vegas. So it was pretty sweet. That's what I used that money on. I went to Vegas, and so that was pretty cool. Like, I did lose money before. Like, I had Boeing stock, and we already know about the 737 Dreamliner that crashed in Ethiopia, and then there was another crash, and then Boeing is doing something where they're basically recalling their planes. I think that's something I saw on the news today. So that stock went crashing down, and I lost some significant money from that. So I gained some significant money off of corporate cannabis, and I lost some significant money off of Stash. So I would say that I probably gained about between 5%, 4 and 5%. If I were to run the numbers, I think it is about 5%. That I gained between the gain and the loss of those two major stocks that I had in Stash. So I moved over to Robinhood because I like the fact that I can invest in individual stocks, in their actual stocks. For Stash, the stocks are fractal shares or fractional shares. So what that means is you own a part of a share, and it's just, whatever. They're just trying to get your money, get you in there. So with Robinhood, you actually own shares, and I've been looking at a couple of companies that I really wanted to get into, one being T-Mobile, which is what I linked to before today, because T-Mobile is getting in this. T-Mobile is acquiring Sprint, so they both can have 5G. Now, I don't know if you've been following T-Mobile. T-Mobile just bought Metro like last year. So, or they partner together. I don't know who bought who, or they partner together. So I know T-Mobile's on the way up because I know my people. Again, I bet on corporate cannabis when I was doing Stash because I know my people. I know people in the hood smoke weed. Like, that's just what people do. So bet on it. There are tons of good people there are tons of people that buy marijuana from bootleg people, and then there are good people who want to, buy it the legal way. So I bet on that. And that's what you do, and that's how you have to think. You have to pay attention to the world. Anyway, getting back to T-Mobile. T-Mobile bought Metro, and they are now going after Sprint for their 5G backbone. So I know Sprint has a lot of users. I know T-Mobile has a lot of users, and I know Metro has a lot of users. So you go for that company, and that's how you that's how you basically that's how you invest speculatively. If that makes any sense, you speculate. You think that this is going to happen, so this happens. Now, anyway, getting back to Robinhood. Robinhood, you can also invest Bitcoin in, and you can also share your stock and give people other stocks, and so you can make money that way. And I'm a big fan of affiliate marketing. I'm a big fan of doing anything on my phone that requires me to do nothing more than move my thumbs, because I make a lot of money, and I don't I make a lot of money. I just don't. Anyway, I make money through the skills that I've acquired over the 15 years that I've been an adult. And but the problem is my skills are done with my hands, and I'm just tired of changing oil. I'm tired of fixing computers. I'm tired of driving Lyft. I'm tired of just everything I do. You know how hard it is to fix an iPhone? You know how much glue they use on an iPhone? So it just drives you crazy about the things that you have to do to make the money, and you can screw up people's stuff. There's so much risk involved. So I like investing because I'm kind of lazy. I'm kind of lazy. And eventually what happens is, on your hustling journey, you're going to tend to go up market. You're going to stop hustling inside your community. I was one of those people who swept barbershop floors and sold water. And eventually you're going to move on to something else that you can do that's easier, because selling water, who wants to stand in the hot sun with cold water in their hands for 6-7 hours? So eventually, this is why you get into investing. I guess that's where I'll segue into. The reason why you get into investing is because you need to pay attention to the world. You need to pay attention to the world because you're part of the world. So invest, learn some of these things. I'll try to put a link to both Stash and Robinhood into my on my page, and you can click it. I'll gain a stock, you'll gain a stock. But the point is, you'll be making money. And by the way, you gaining those stocks will take time to mature. They'll take like a week or so to mature. And you can just cash out and close the account and make $5. Who cares? You made $5. And if you think that that's not worth it, then what are you watching me for? So anyway, don't mean to come off as too rude. I just want to get everybody into investing, because we all need to pay attention to the world, because this is what keeps everything going. We are the batteries in the battery operated battery charger. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Take it easy.